Hey guys, y'all know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent, big ugly himself, Omari Ellis, Feo Grande on the YouTubes, and I'm here once again with my boy Superjaz. Clearly not in a
Thank
good
you for
mood
not doing it
right
all the way.
now. Here with boy Superjaz. You know, we're kind of down because we had a celebration a couple weeks ago. Had a long 3.5 hour long video. Like, this is the culmination of things. Then we had our bonus video where it's like, well, we still got one technical loose thread to solve. And you know, the loose thread made Jazz mad, but I fucking loved the loose thread. So Jazz is like, I gotta get back at him. He made me watch Dragon Ball Super
Oh, oh,
Broly.
oh.
So I'm gonna go ahead. And so Jazz was like, how can I make Pete Omari suffer the way I did from watching Dragon Ball Super Broly? I know. We didn't watch everything. We need to watch Dragon Ball Evolution. I'm like,
Blame my friend Darius.
uh huh.
Because I told him, I was like, yeah, me and my best friend.
Darius, same difference, whatever. The bottom
Ah,
line.
ah, No, me and I was telling Darius when I was over his house. Him, and our friend Jeremy, we was over his house, and I was like, yeah, me and my best friend. I was like, remember I told you we were reviewing every DBZ movie in order? And he was like, did y'all review Dragon Ball Evolution? And I was like, good. And then him and Jeremy both were kind of like, more so Darius though. He was kind of like, I mean, you should. He said it would make sense in so many words. I don't know exactly, but in so many words, he said it would make sense and it would be funny.
Well, I've got so many words for him, but oh man, I'm not gonna say.
But also, no,
I'm
this ain't
kidding.
no. I know. But I'll say also, this ain't no get back for Super Brawly.
Get back. Well, you don't know me like that.
Okay. Anyway, but this ain't no. That was a random connection. This ain't no get back for Super Brawly. This is just if we're reviewing everyone, should we review this too? I guess it's basically a hey, reviewed every movie. Oh, y'all going like should you review Dragon Ball Evolution? I guess.
If you say so.
You see my face? Yeah, we should. I guess.
If you say so. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, I had never seen this movie. I avoided this movie
I did.
my whole life because I thought it would be bad. Everyone said it was. I'm like, good. I don't need to watch it. I had seen like a Cinema Sins or a Nostalgia Critic on it. So I had heard things in the past. I had forgotten damn near all of said things. But I knew the general gist. And by that I mean it's Goku in high school, and I'm like, that's stupid. And so I was like, I don't really care. But I watched it. I watched it last night. So here we go. Let's go ahead.
Let me tell my little preface. Okay, so I had previously seen the movie, but the last time I saw the movie, I was 17 years old. It has hence been 13 years. And I remember because I saw the release date. I forgot when it came out, but it came out in April. Because I was looking up something about it. And so it came out in April of 09. And so actually I was 18 really. And I remember me and my friends at the time, we would always, talk DBZ. We played the Yu-Gi-Oh. We were that table that played the Yu-Gi-Oh card in cafeteria. Mm-hmm. We just like nerdy stuff, didn't give a damn. So we all, when we saw the movies coming out, we were all like, yeah, okay, let's go see it. But I always say everybody, not just my friends, all us Dragon Ball Z fans, up to that point, we all knew a live action Dragon Ball Z movie would suck, but we all knew that we were going to go see it anyway. So me and my friends, we made plans to go see it, and we were like, yeah, it's gonna suck. We knew it was gonna suck. We wanted to see it anyway because it was DBZ, DB, whatever. And then afterwards, we went and got food in the food court of the mall and proceeded to sit there and talk shit about the movie the whole time.
Sounds about right.
Anyway,
I can imagine the amount of shit talked after seeing it live. All right, so let's just go ahead. We're avoiding talking about it, but we got to.
You did go in with an open mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't finished the review. I haven't even started the review. Calm down. Look, man, your precious Dragon Ball Evolution may be fine. We don't know. The review hasn't been able to start. You cut me off. So, we went in here because I hadn't seen anything. So, let's go. The movie starts off with some narration, and we get a backstory about how 1,000 years ago, the Demon King Piccolo attacked and did all this thing with his assistant, Ozaru. And I'm like, okay, so the Ozaru, or the Great Ape form, or Ozaru, however you want to pronounce it, is apparently Demon King Piccolo's assistant in this movie. So we're already fucking with the Dragon Ball lore in
Right.
It's like, okay. But it's like, oh, hey, they mentioned the Mafuba, which I was telling you, hey, Mafuba with Dragon Ball Super. I was like, yeah, that Mafuba's been a thing. It was called it the inner evil containment wave in Dragon Ball Super English dub. But I was like, oh, that was called the Mafuba in Japanese. Apparently, they call it the Mafuba here. Apparently, it was used by tons of people instead of just like one dude or whatever, or Roshi initially, but you get my point. Apparently, they trapped the Demon King Piccolo and then killed Ozaru by proxy. He just kind of disappeared. That's 2,000 years ago. That's all in the narration about this. Group of folks did this. So, now it's present time, and it's like Dragon Ball Evolution. So I'm like, okay, so it's indeed Dragon Ball Evolution, not Dragon Ball Z.
It's not Dragon Ball Z, yeah.
Because we're talking about Demon King Piccolo and stuff. Okay, and then we get our first line in the present day. There is one rule. There are no rules. What? That's the first line of the movie. I get that. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that was them trying to tell the audience, like, hey, this is the one rule we're following when we try to adapt this, and that's that we're saying there ain't no rules, so fuck you gotta watch our movie anyway.
The connection you made with that is hilarious. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I just thought about that now. And we start up with a close-up of eyes and sweat, and we're like, what am I watching? There was a kid. Apparently, it's a kid training with an old man on some clotheslines. We got cheesy dialogue. Yep. We got cheesy dialogue with the old man. Prepare to eat dirt. Ugh. And if I'm being honest, the fight sequence itself on the clothesline could have been worse with the choreography and stuff that they had. I'm just like, what the hell is this? But the fight choreography could have been worse. But
the special effects were pretty crappy though, as far as like falling under the strings and whatnot. But
yeah, yes. It was entertaining enough. It wasn't like, what the fuck. It was a little what the fuck, but you get my point. It could have been worse. However, the ending of the fight with the kid kicking a bug into the old man's mouth,
which seemed really cheap.
Yeah, that was dumb and unnecessary. Just fucking, especially because the old man wins anyway with like an air blast that he calls the Shadow Crane Strike. Oh yes. So this kid is Goku, who I will be referring to as either Wakku or Wakarat from here on out.
You gonna take his name? He's not Goku.
Look, I went into this planning to just call him like Gino or Gino, Gino, Goku in name only. Some stuff like that, but then I thought about Wakarat, and I'm like, no, Wakarat works too.
Wakarat is pretty dope. Wakarat is pretty.
I'm like, no, Wakarat's gotta be the name.
Anyway, that's funny though.
Yeah. So Wakarat, we got here. The old man is teaching him about ki. This is his grandpa. Because I'm like, is he already training with Roshi? Because it's a bald old man, or a very short-haired old man. I'm like, is he already training with Roshi this early? What the fuck? And he's like, Grandpa. I'm like, oh, okay. This is Grandpa Gohan. They haven't said his name. They just call him Grandpa. So I don't know what they're gonna call him in this movie. But I was just like, okay, he's training with his grandpa, and when Wakarat's here, and he's like complaining to his grandpa about how he wishes he was normal. He's been different his whole life from everybody. And he's just like, I want to do this. I get bullied at school, and I can beat those bullies up with one hand. So apparently he is super strong and shit. But he just gets bullied because he's weird and different and super strong, I guess. And Grandpa's like, don't fight. I don't train you to fight. And then he's like, by the way, here's a fucking Dragon Ball. And he's like, oh, I've never
What did they
heard.
call it? What did he call it? He didn't call it a Dragon Ball, did he?
He called it some
Oh,
long name and then said Dragon Ball.
yeah.
Because
the people down the line weren't calling it Dragon Ball.
insert Asian word here, and then he said Dragon Ball.
Well, I was saying, but the people down the line weren't calling it Dragon Ball. They were like the something orb. You know?
We'll get to that one, but
Yeah.
Additionally, he did say Dragon Ball. Like
Okay,
Wakarat heard the term
Yeah,
Dragon
because
Ball.
Goku was saying,
from
I whack a ride. Well, he was saying Dragon Ball throughout. So you're right. He did say that. You're right.
Yeah, he heard it from Grandpa Gohan, and he shows it to him. It is indeed the 4-star. It better had been the 4-star. At least they got that right.
I didn't know the 4-star was a thing until you told me, and then I see this again, and I'm like, wow, really? That's hilarious.
I'm like, that's a detail they got right. And I'm like, at least they got that detail right.
But it would have been the 4-star anyway, right? Because that was on Gohan's head.
That's Grandpa Gohan's Dragon Ball is the 4-star. That's why it means the most and why it's the one most associated with the series. So yeah, anyway, so yes, the Dragon Ball still had the power to grant a wish in this movie. If you get all 7, they're not gonna fuck up the lore that hard. Like, they fuck it up a bit, don't get me wrong, but they didn't fuck it up that hard. Where they're like, the Dragon Balls are here, and you put them together, and they explode to make a super weapon. What?
That, bruh.
You can
this
see
movie already is just like.
Had this movie come out in the 90s, it probably would have done that.
Well, I mean, Power Rangers, right? Put all the weapons together. Let's make a gun. I loved it, but looking back, what?
But yes. Anyway, so Wakarat rides his scooter to school, and gets there only for the bullies to show up and. That's pretty much what they say. That's pretty much what they say as they try to run his ass over.
The timing. That was so perfect.
The bullies show up.
They ran over his scooter.
Yeah. The bullies pretty much show up just in time to almost run over the man and kill him. They definitely run over his scooter. And I'm like, okay, there's bullying and then there's straight up murder. Okay, like, this... Yeah, I think if you told Grandpa Gohan that they were trying to run you over...
He probably would have been like, well, here, learn this fight.
Look, this shit's like self-defense at this point.
Hilarious.
And then the bullies start calling him stuff like Geeko. Okay. Geeko is the name that comes out. He wants to fight back, but he doesn't. And that's when I'm like, dude, I know you promised and all, but they just tried to fucking murder you. The bully has an Asian girlfriend that Wakarat clearly has a crush on. And she kind of walks away looking at him, and he's like,
How about the fact that a white man had an Asian grandfather? It is possible. But they couldn't just get an Asian person to play Goku in the first place. Anyway.
I wasn't going to bring that up. I actually wasn't going to bring that up, but I thought it. I definitely thought it.
Up to you to decide to edit it out.
No. I'm not editing it out.
But
it's a point I agree with. I just wasn't going to say it. But it's a point I definitely agree with. But yes. Let's see. So we cut to a plane and this green dude that's just sitting here on the green.
Who's the green guy?
It's probably Piccolo, but they don't say. It's just literally a green dude, has a chick walk up next to him, he looks at her, and burns down a forest. It's like, oh, okay, just burned down a random forest. It cuts to like a surviving mother and child from a village, and they're like hiding, and she's got a little bag in her hand. They're tracked down by a woman in red. They're speaking Japanese to each other with no subtitles.
I was just about to say, okay, I was like, did the link I have not have the subtitles on it? But okay, they didn't subtitle it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know, Nihongo wa hanemasen. I don't know Japanese. However, I know a little bit. And it was something along the lines of, I got what you want, or I think I have what you're looking for. Because you use the word hoshi, like want. And so, and the lady's like, and she's pretty much just like, you want this? Yeah, fucking give it to me. And so that's pretty much what happens. And then the green dude walks up right after she gives her the bag. Green dude walks up, looks at her. Woman in red shoots the villager anyway. And it's like, okay.
I mean, well then, if that is what they said, that's probably why they didn't need to subtitle it, because it looked like, I have what you want, fucking give it to me. It looked like that.
Yeah, I'm like, the point was across. Like, I know something about, do you want this, or I might have what you want, or I know what you want, something along those lines. Want
it
was a
like
word that was said. So anyway,
and the dude, he looked just like Piccolo, by the way. Sorry.
Anyway, so we cut to a class about eclipses. And the teacher's just like, oh yeah, when the eclipse happens, just blah blah blah. We see that Wakarat spends his daytime daydreaming about this girl that he had a crush on, eating strawberries in a field or some shit.
And that was so just, yeah.
Teacher interrupts the day.
I'm just laughing.
Yeah. Teacher interrupts the daydream, talking about, like, hey, you, what's an eclipse? What do you know why an eclipse happens and stuff like that? He's like, oh, what would our ancestors call an eclipse? And he's like, well, my grandfather says it will be the time that, my grandfather always says, fear the Nameks. So
No, Nimics.
I thought he said Nameks.
No, he definitely said.
I mean, Namekian is the term that he should have been using anyway. So either way, he was wrong. But
yes, right.
Fear them, and he gets exactly the kind of response you would expect. Because he's like, 2,000 years ago, and everybody in the class is like, nigga, you crazy. Because what? How long have you been alive? We find out. You should know by now. No one's gonna believe that you're saying. Anyhow, so we cut to no one believing him or whatever. We cut to outside in between classes. The Asian chick can't get her locker open, but Wakarat like blows all the lockers open with his key, and she's like, "Oh, you used key. I know what key is." And this is supposed to be Chi-Chi. She is about the least like Chi-Chi I've ever seen in my life. I don't know, maybe call her Cha-Cha or something. It ain't Chi-Chi.
Wasn't Chi-Chi in Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball young kid Chi-Chi. Short and kind of chubby.
Yeah.
And this one was like tall and thin. So they didn't even get that right, let alone the age difference between everybody in the movie. Just whatever.
So yeah, we got
the age difference, none of this, but whatever.
We got, I don't know if she was chubby, but she still, this is all out of whack.
She might not have been chubby.
This is all out of whack anyway.
She was very much like more
She's
petite.
definitely younger than Goku.
She's much more petite
than
like skinnier and whatnot. In the show.
So
everything's off.
Yeah. So anyway, so she knows what that is. So Cha-Cha's here talking to Wakarat, and he's awkward around her. Still somehow gets invited to a party from it. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now, kids, being awkward around girls doesn't work. Okay? Don't believe the fucking movies. You can't just.
The only movie that does that, though.
I know. I said don't believe the movies. Being awkward around chicks doesn't work. I've been awkward around chicks for the majority, especially in high school. Man. Let me just say, I was single for a huge portion of my life. How huge? Longer than you. So I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh man,
Um,
I'm so awkward, man. Oh, his awkwardness is cute and charming. I want to suck his dick.
so
Oh man, that don't really happen. Anyway,
no. All right. So anyway, it turns out, Grandpa wanted to make a cool dinner for Wackarot for whatever reason. We don't really know why initially. He's just like, oh, when Goku gets home, I've got all this stuff. We got a feast for him. It's going to be so great. But Wackarot's too busy upstairs being lame in a mirror, and he just flakes on the Grandpa. Like, he just fucking dips. Doesn't even tell the Grandpa. Apparently, it's his birthday, and so now we get why the Grandpa made the dinner. It was a birthday dinner for the guy, and he's just like, "Oh, happy birthday, Goku!" Dips to go to a
that
party.
was your reenactment, though. Oh man.
Dips to go to a party or whatever. So, yeah, Wackarot leaves. He decides last second, I'm gonna take this Dragon Ball. Not sure why, but he just like, I'm gonna take the Dragon Ball with me. Why the fuck did you take the Dragon Ball? So the plot can happen. Anyway. But still, it doesn't make any sense.
You got a Deus Ex that machina.
Yeah. Like I said, he leaves without saying anything. He gets to the party, he's bullied outside, and he decides, I'm tired of being bullied. But I also promised my grandfather I won't fight. Like, that's going to make the bullies not do anything. Sure enough, they try to attack, and he decides to dodge their attacks and make them beat each other's asses.
I will say this, and I said this in high school, and I still agree watching it all these years later. Out of pretty much all the movie, if not all the movie, but most of this movie, that fight was very Goku.
Goku would have beat their asses.
But no, but like jokey, aloof.
No, like I will say I was not mad at the sequence. That's what I will say. Goku would have beat their asses.
Well, yeah, but jokey, aloof, playful, especially the younger he was, and stuff like that, dodging like out of nowhere. I'm amazing.
Like if they attacked him unprovoked or whatever, he would just dodge and be like, "What are you guys doing?" But if they came at him, he's whooping their asses. Because it's Goku and he loves fighting. He's a fucking fighting junkie. If he could take the concept of fighting, give it a humanoid form, he would fuck it and dump Chi-Chi. That's how much this man loves fighting. So, this guy.
Oh wow! Okay. Oh shit! This man would adult his wife. If he be an adulterer, okay. I don't even know how to put that in.
Am I wrong? Is he not that obsessed with fighting?
You are not.
Did he not put his whole universe on the line and not care about anything about the consequences, even at the tournament? He's like, hey, I know if you end up winning, I die and everyone I know dies forever, but I'll train you to get stronger. This man loves fighting. All right, so either way, I wasn't mad with that scene. I wasn't mad with the way that fight sequence went out, because at the end of the day, it's like if I'm watching a not Dragon Ball movie and I judged it with an open mind, it's like, okay, fun sequence. Look, they beat each other's asses, whatever. Anyway, head bully comes out. He gets embarrassed too. And he impresses everybody at the party like, oh, Geeko can do shit. And also makes the head bully break his own car and shit. And then Chi-Chi...
was dumb, because once he hit it once or twice, why did he keep swinging? Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, so Cha-Cha likes him, and she's like, you're different. I like different.
These names. Go ahead.
So, yeah, and he has a conversation where he mentions, he's like, yeah, my grandpa said he would explain, apparently I'm an orphan. My grandpa said he'd explain stuff about my parents on my 18th birthday, which is tonight, by the way. And she even kind of gives him a look at first, like, what the fuck are you doing here? But
Deus Ex that machina.
So, when he mentions that, we cut to, like, Maximum Feels. There's Granddad falling asleep at the table with the cake having all the candles melted out. And he's just sitting there in front of the uneaten food waiting. And it's like, poor fucking Granddad. You didn't tell this man he was leaving. You fucking asshole. Yeah.
It's your 18th birthday. You ain't saying shit.
Right? Yeah, at least be like, sorry, granddad, I'm 18. I'm trying to become a man for real. You get what I'm saying? Do something like that. Don't just fucking leave and not say anything.
And then, I mean, if Grandpa was a real one, which he was, then Grandpa would have been like, shit, go out there and become a man. Fuck you, man.
You literally complained to me this morning about you being too awkward to interact with girls. And you said one invited you to a party? Yeah.
And she was beautiful.
Shoot your shot. It's the girl you've been wanting to talk to? Shoot your shot. Consensually, Anyway.
Of course.
So, yeah. So, we cut to Grandpa there. He gets attacked by the red woman and the green dude. The dude...
Christmas.
Huh?
Christmas.
Yeah. Christmas? Oh, because they're red and green. Gets attacked by the Christmas duo. And, the dude is Piccolo. The dude is Piccolo. I didn't really have a name for him. I don't know, Diccolo or something. I don't know. I didn't have a name for him.
I'm vetoing you calling him Diccolo. No. Flag on the plane.
Anyway, Diccolo destroys his house with telekinesis. He's like, it's not here. Just destroys the house. Wackarot looks at a full moon and goes, something's wrong with my granddad, and just leaves to head home.
And nothing happened. Supposed to be, something crazy gonna happen. I'm 18. Oh my god.
I'm like, maybe he won't turn into a monkey until the full moon. Nope.
They even talk about Uzaru and all that stuff at the beginning of the fucking movie.
It's like,
stares at the shit for a good about 10 seconds.
Now we're saying nothing happens. When we say nothing happens, we mean nothing happens that we expect. Technically, he gets like a blah flash before his eyes.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And then that's when he's like, I sense something's wrong with my granddad.
I forgot it gave him premonitions, because that happened in the show.
Did he go to high school and meet Chi-Chi in the show? They clearly shat on the lore of the show. So
Krillin is nowhere to be found. Go ahead.
I don't know about that. We're still early in the movie, Jazz.
You're right. Maybe he shows up later.
So I lost track of where I was. Anyway, so he goes home, finds his grandpa dying. He tells him to find Roshi and the Dragon Balls before the next eclipse. He also gives him his Uncle Ben speech of always have faith in who you are. So, go.
Look very Spider-Man. It's a dude who's supposed to be in high school, clearly older than high school age, with an older man on his deathbed saying the speech and then dying as he's like over. That was very like Spider-Man, like 2001.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely an Uncle Ben speech, but much lamer. In my opinion, always have faith in who you are versus when great power comes great responsibility. You can use that a lot more in a lot more situations, I feel like. Okay.
And then Mufasa said it.
They do.
Mufasa said it better anyway. Remember
who you are.
James Earl Jones, baby.
Anyway, son, the future king. Get your shit together. Okay. Yes, sir. James Earl Jones tells me to get my shit together. I get my shit together.
And fucking astral projection and shit. Like, time to get my shit together. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so he buries him out back and, goes inside to find the food on the table and everything else destroyed. Has some random bit where he goes and opens his room to throw his bag in and is kind of shocked that there's no room there. Motherfucker, like the whole house broke down.
Like he didn't know. Like, how would you, everything in the house caught on fire. Damn, even the toaster? Yeah. Wow. For real? Even the fridge? Yes. Even yes. Even the cow, look.
The house, the car, the kids, and the dog, they burned it all. So...
We're not gonna get through this review.
Okay. We aren't. All right, so he goes inside, finds everything destroyed. He finds an orange key in a random treasure chest. Just like, what is this? I wonder.
Got a Deus Ex that mugging.
Just what is this? All of a sudden, somebody else shows up. It's a chick with a gun. she wants her Prometheum orb. And
That's
she's
what they called
like,
it.
yeah, she's like, you have my Promethean orb. You got it, don't you? And he's like, no. She's like, he's like, I've got the 4-star Dragon Ball. She's like, I've got 5 stars on mine. He's like, well, bitch, this has 4. And she's like, oh, you didn't steal my thing. So this turns out to be
Who is it?
Bulma. I don't.
Oh, really?
I couldn't think of a name for Bulma at all. I was like, I don't know. I could just go Bloomers. This isn't Bulma. This is Bloomers or Burma or some shit.
Call her Amlub or something because it's backwards Bulma. That shit was not no fucking Bulma. Why couldn't they give her, if she didn't want to dye her hair blue, why couldn't they give her a blue wig? Why couldn't they give her a blue wig? Right. We're gonna give you a little blue streak, right here.
I'm pretty sure this movie came out while I was in college. I might be aging myself here, but I'm pretty sure it came out while I was in college, and I'm pretty sure so did Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and I'm pretty sure the lead chick of that movie had various colors of her hair. So that was an in thing to do. Blue hair would not have been that weird. They at least did the blue streaks. Ramona Flowers. I don't know her actual name.
The main character, that real person.
Yeah, I don't know her actual name. I barely know Michael Cera's name. He was George Michael to me, even while I was watching that movie. Yeah, I'm very bad about that with the actors, and I apologize. Y'all don't know who I am either, though. So we got.
I made me to laugh because that's so real, and there's nothing wrong with you saying that. It was just the way you said it. It's true.
So yes, this individual with the blue hair, B word over here,
little blue streak. Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh.
How about that B word? So B word was
that might be a little too much. Digglo, I just don't want you saying Digglo every time, and B word might be too far.
What if I'm gonna say bitch? I'm gonna say bitch. Okay, B word could be anything.
But no, B word is alluding to Bulma. I thought.
Yes, I'm just saying. You were like, it's a little too much. I'm like, if I'm gonna say bitch, I'm gonna say bitch. B word could be anything. In this case, it's the name of this character. So B.
Emlub is her name because it's backwards Bulma. Anyway, go ahead.
The Bulma that is not Bulma. How about Bino? Bulma in name only. Since we didn't use it for Goku. Bino. We got Bino over here. She thought that, Wacko.
Gas medicine.
That is.
Spark medicine, look at that. I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
So yeah, Bino thought Goku was the thief that stole her father's Dragon Ball. Obviously he wasn't. She has a Dragon Ball radar that she made at least. She apparently put like DBE on. She didn't know they were called Dragon Balls. Oh, she didn't know they were called Dragon Balls. And he's the one that told her that. Oh, Wakarat told her, like, this is a Dragon Ball, not a thing. And she's like, DBE, Dragon Ball Energy. It makes sense.
And real quick, she didn't even act like Bulma. At least Goku kind of acted like Goku. When was Bulma like a fast-talking motherfucker? Yeah, because I got to do that. When did Bulma ever do that?
When did Bulma go around just pointing guns in people's faces?
When did Bulma ever hold a gun in the damn series from Dragon Ball on?
I'm sure she has. I mean, she's got to do something every once in a while, but I don't remember it. And that's the bottom line. Yeah, she was. I'm agreeing with you. She was nothing like her. And so anyway, and
that Goku is much older, but Bulma's supposed to be like older than Goku when they first meet by a lot of years. So why did Bulma kind of like she might have been a little like younger than Goku? and then, Emmy Rossum. You are a very talented actor. I'm sorry. We're going to get there.
Yeah. So yeah, he offers to help her find her Dragon Ball if she helps him find Roshi. So they actually do put kind of put capsule tech in the movie. She throws out a thing that turns into a fucking motorcycle and stuff.
That was cool.
I'm like, all right, they got capsule tech, okay. Because again, I hadn't seen this before, so I was like, oh, well, all right. So Wackarot, they eventually go looking for him. It's hard to find him. Eventually, he senses Roshi because he senses something similar to his granddad, and the radar senses a Dragon Ball. So they break into a house, and while sneaking around, Wackarot makes some noise and starts knocking shit over. So the guy
There's so much fucking noise.
Yeah. So the guy living there shows up and starts beating his ass. This is Roshi, or Foshi, like faux, fake, Roshi.
Faux.
Yes. However you spell faux. I think I put an extra E in there on accident in my notes when I first wrote it. For the rest of it, I just put Foshi, so I knew what I was saying.
I gotta give Chow Yun Fat the same treatment I gave Emmy Rossum real quick. Chow Yun Fat, you are an accomplished actor.
Yes.
What are you doing in this movie? But you know what? Chow Yun Fat is older and had done so much in his career. Maybe he's like, I don't give a fuck.
He didn't give a fuck.
All right, go ahead.
Good for him, I guess. I don't know. Get that paycheck.
So
Wackarot gives, Roshi the news that Gohan is dead. And that's not me doing it. That's how they said it. He's like, Gohan is dead.
Oh, I thought you were being silly. Oh, they really. Oh, okay.
Yes, it's like Grandpa's died. Gohan is dead.
My brain didn't even compute that they pronounced it wrong like that.
If they pronounced it right later in the movie, he definitely said Gohan the first time, and so I'm like, well, all right, so Grandpa Gohan. So he gets the news he's dead. That's sad, and he immediately goes into a nursery rhyme about the Dragon Balls. When the Dragon Balls are bound, humanity goes down, and when they go down, you summon the Zerag, and then you die. What? I don't know. Some shit along those lines. Who really gives a fuck? So, I'm not gonna lie. Wackarot's, as we mentioned, the acting in this movie was bad overall. In this scene, it definitely could have been better. I forget what lines he said particularly, but it was just like, that definitely could have been delivered better, man. It's one thing if you got poor acting in a whole movie, but I'm not expecting a lot of this movie. I'm trying to go in here, clear-minded anyway, and not really try to judge and harp on every little bad decision they make. But when I see certain lines delivered with bad thing, I'm like, okay, dude, your director didn't go, let's get that one again. I've had directors go, that was good, let's do it again. Your director didn't go, that was bad, let's do it again. Anyhow, so seems that they at least had Roshi stay perverted in this one. Yeah, they kept that character trait. He had a fucking swimsuit mag and his shit upstairs because they couldn't have him just straight up have nudie mags, ratings and all that stuff. And he did. I initially had in my notes he's perverted but not creepily so, but then he gets on the motorcycle when they're leaving and immediately grabs Bulma's ass, and he grabs her ass again later on. So I'm like, okay, so much for that not creepily so. He's not overly creepily so like the show, but still.
I've seen him in there striped. What the fuck? Okay.
Even Foshi likes to get his freak on, or wishes he could at least.
I'm gonna say this real quick too. So far, if we keep an open mind and we're gonna talk about the good as well as the bad. So far, Chow Yun Fat, out of everybody playing true to their character, I thought he was the one who was most like Roshi.
I will give you that.
Okay.
I will give you that. I will give it. So anyway, the Dragon Balls are apparently giving Wackarot flashbacks. And just random things. Clearly, if you guys didn't guess it with the fact that you know anything about Dragon Ball, but even if you didn't, you would be able to pick up on the fact that he's Ozaru. Like that should be they make it pretty fucking obvious throughout the movie. And it's one of those things that, and I say that, if you didn't know, you would be able to put it together, because I've had moments like this with video games. There is a video game where literally the characters are talking about some ancient creature that did some shit way back when, and they start talking about it while a mysterious person had joined the party whose past we don't know. And they mentioned that creature, and she goes ... over her head. I'm like, it's her. She's the fucking... It's her. And sure enough, she was. It's supposed to be a big reveal, like 20 hours later in the game. But I knew
No
with
one
the dot,
spoiled it.
dot,
You just
dot.
guessed it.
Yeah, I knew with the dot, dot, dot that that's what was going on. I'm like, why would you dot, dot, dot there? If it ain't you, it's your mama or your cousin or your sister. It's something, you know way too much about
Me
this.
and you, your mama and your cousin too.
With these song references today. We on our shit. Alright, so, Foshi joins the search team, even though B-Word doesn't like, or Bino, that's right, even though Bino doesn't like it. Meanwhile, Diccolo finds another ball doing his shit. So, the Shadow Crane Strike, in Roshi's own words, is an airbending technique.
Yes, they said. I didn't remember that from when I was in high school.
Avatar fan Jazz, how does that make you feel?
I have the top 10 Avatar The Last Airbender moments up on my old channel. Search J-A-Z Tucker, Jazz Tucker, and you can see it's one of my most viewed videos where I did my top 10 Avatar The Last Airbender moments from when I was 18. It's up on that channel. Also, down the line, there's gonna be some more Whatever We Want podcast, another plug, where he's quizzing me on some Airbender and we're just talking about it or whatever. And I mean, I'm not an Airbender fanatic, Avatar The Last Airbender fanatic, but I mean, I really, 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 really enjoy the show. I didn't remember this from high school. And what the motherfucker? Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So there's that, apparently. So they start traveling and they're like training them. They fall in a random hole in a desert and they're found by some dude who Bino flirts with, trying to get him to help him. And Foshi's like, who do you think made the hole? Apparently the guy that made the hole they fell into is this guy, Yamcha, or Dumcha, whatever. This guy, he doesn't really act... He's lame.
I was gonna say...
He's lame, and to be fair, when they first encounter Yamcha, it's in an antagonistic role as a desert bandit. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Yamcha was a bandito, right? But I was gonna say,
where's Puar though?
I didn't think about that. Oh no,
because Puar was with Yamcha from the start.
I didn't think about that. But what I was gonna say was this though: Chow Yun-Fat was the one who did the best being like his character. Next to maybe Grandpa Gohan, but he wasn't in the movie long enough for me to give a fuck. But Chow Yun-Fat did the best being like Roshi. I don't know the dude who played Yamcha, but I'll say at least he was trying. He was just a bad actor.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Well, he was trying.
He might have had some moments where I was like, okay, that's a Yamcha thing.
The essence of Yamcha was there.
Yeah, I guess. But so anyway, during the night, Bino makes some wise crack about the ghost stories or whatever, and Foshi is like, ghost stories? I'll tell you a true story about Piccolo and Ozaru, the gods from the sky. It's literally the story from the beginning of the movie. He's just telling it to the characters. Apparently, by the way, there's an eclipse that will allow Ozaru to be resurrected in a couple days. So Foshi promises Dumcha some money if he helps them find a nearby Dragonball. And he decides he'll do so. Meanwhile, Diccolo hears about the good guy's plan and gives, like, his blood to make some weird creatures in some kind of machine. What? What? He just does this.
Some fucking Cyberman and shit.
Yeah. And then we cut to the good guys at a volcano. All right. They're at a volcano now and walking around inside a volcano. Huh?
I said they did just randomly get there.
Yeah, they're just at the mouth of a volcano even. And,
we have to cross it.
Yeah. And Dumcha burns his ass on a steam vent and everyone's like, what the hell? Then some putty men show up that regenerate whenever you do anything. So Wakarat cuts their bodies and butchers their bodies a bunch to make a bridge across the lava out of them, which is some savage shit to do.
It was some dumb shit.
It was dumb, but the idea of butchering a bunch of people and throwing them on lava so you can walk across, that's kind of rude.
Is that Goku enough for you then?
That's pretty fucking savage.
That's
all I was saying. I wasn't saying I'm happy that it happened. I'm just saying,
but I'm saying
damn, that's cold. How about that? Not savage, but cold.
If the party fight wasn't Goku, was that Goku enough for you?
I don't know, man. Probably would have just walked through the lava and been like, I mean, Dragon Ball Goku was damn near invincible to like half the shit unless he was like actually fighting a fight that mattered. Like, just gets shot and he's like, ow! That hurt. Like, I shot you with an empty clip of an automatic.
Why, man? Come on now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so he crossed the thing. So by the time they get across, he gets the ball, and the red woman shows up. I don't know if they ever give her name.
Yeah, so, again, I was looking up, because I was like, when did this movie come out? So I looked it up on Google, and I also wanted to, I also looked up, too, because I wanted to be like, that is Emmy Rossum, right? Because I recognized it. I was like, yeah, it definitely is her. But they also had the cast list and they had the character breakdown. Do you know what her name was?
No.
You want to take a guess?
No.
Since everybody favors their character so much, it's Mai.
From the Pilaf game?
Yeah. Apparently, it's canon according to Google. I don't know. I even typed in Demon King.
I can see that. Whatever. If it's supposed to be Mai, it's supposed to be Mai. It isn't. Yeah, I mean, it isn't Mai, but it's supposed to be. Okay, sure. Anyway, the red woman shows up and she takes...
That's an appropriate name because they never give her name, and then it's not Mai, but that's who she's listed as in the cast list. So, yeah.
So the red woman shows up. She takes the Dragon Ball, or tries to take the Dragon Ball from him. He bodies her. Meanwhile, he gets told that Ozaru will kill everyone, and but from the Dragon Balls. And rather than say anything, Foshi's like, "We'll figure it out when we get there." Even furthermore, hinting with his actions and everything that yes, Goku is Ozaru, and I'm like, why beat us over the head with that? That's not how you... I know you're trying to foreshadow your twist later, but you can't hammer it over the head. It's because not everybody's going to be like me and say, oh, there was an ellipsis? That means that's them? Like, that's just me having watched too much shit.
That is true. Somebody would just be like, oh, I wonder what she just feels the way about it.
Yeah, she's like, she's uncomfortable. Like, maybe her village got burned down or something. But...
You saying they just... Do you get it yet?
Yeah, but it comes to a point where you see a lot of stuff and you're like, okay, this... It happened with another game that I was watching some friends play. I'm like, that dude has "I'ma betray you" written all over him. And they're like, damn, you just met the man, but look at him. And look at the way he talks. No, man. And then it's sure enough, like, my friends were playing, and sure enough, like, I missed going over there the following week because I had work or whatever. And they're like, dude, we really wish you would have been there last night. Why? Dude betrayed the main party. I'm like, I've watched too much stuff.
Fucking Mai, though.
Yeah. So anyway, like, that's what I'm saying. We get more and more obvious hints that he is Ozaru. Anyway, apparently the next location is the same city that some tournament will be in. Because, oh yeah, there's a point where they go to a random temple and come across Cha-Cha. And she's like, Goku, you should go to this tournament coming up soon. Because they wanted to go to a temple to train, but they couldn't. And then they kept going and then ended up falling in a hole. I could have sworn I had put a note about that, but apparently not. But that's what happens. So anyway, they're going to the city that tournament Cha-Cha mentioned would be in. Foshi asks some black dude while he's at the place for another...
Who was this dude supposed to be?
Some black dude for another Mafuba. I have no idea who he's supposed to be in the lore or what. It,
I mean,
I don't know if he's supposed to be anybody in actual Dragon Ball, but he's
yeah.
clearly this temple is clearly descendants of the people that initially made the Mafuba to destroy Piccolo the first time.
He better not have been supposed to be Popo. Let me stop.
It would have been a less racist representation. So he asks the black dude for another Bafuba, saying Wakarat's not going to be ready. Meanwhile, we cut to Cha-Cha fighting the red chick in a tournament. Red chick's not really doing anything because she was just trying to steal her blood, and she succeeds in doing so, leaves with a vial of her blood.
Oh, that was Ernie Hudson. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah,
that's my fucking Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Out of here.
The late great Ernie Hudson resulted to being random black guy.
Ernie Hudson, you're a great actor. What are you doing in this fucking movie? Okay.
They spent some money on some actors, but damn.
Anyway.
Anyway, so apparently Bino and Dumcha have immediately come to terms with not getting what they want. They're like literally having a conversation. You know you're not getting anything. Yeah, you neither though. Ha 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 ha. Also, let's go ahead and rush them being in a couple and a romantic connection like as fast as possible.
They only had an hour and 20 minutes, Pete.
I'm just saying. You saw what I saw. They were just like, oh, let's almost make out until we get like cock blocked by like a dude killing a chicken or some shit. I forget exactly what happened, but yeah. So then we cut to like Foshi and Wakarat training on more airbending, saying that the final level of airbending is the Kamehameha, and then Foshi shows off the Kamehameha, and it was at this point. In my notes, I put an ellipsis, and I was like, "Okay, look, movie." Because this is what I was saying when I first saw this. Keep that in mind before you go. But wait a minute. This is what when I saw this, I was like, "Movie, if there was one thing that you had to get right, it was this move. This move is the main." Pop culture reference, iconic thing attached to this series outside of Super Saiyan. And this is Dragon Ball, so you can't go Super Saiyan. You're not even acknowledging Saiyans being a thing, which I can't be as mad at you for because Dragon Ball didn't. So I get it. But you Kamehameha. You yell Kamehameha, and you shoot a fucking giant blue laser beam out of your hands doing a very specific pose. That's the Kamehameha, not a yellow puff of air that lights torches. Okay? This is how you piss people off. Alright? Like, fans were not going to be happy with this movie regardless of what you're doing. And they clearly weren't your targets. And that's fine. Most geek things turned into movies aren't targeted at fans. Most people, and I say that as a fan who has been burnt by a lot of movies. Movies aren't made for people who already like that. That's why they fuck them up all the time. However, normal people that see these movies have at least heard of these things. You don't see shit like Mortal Kombat having Sub-Zero come out and shoot fire or Scorpion come out and shoot ice, okay? Even the person with the least amount of knowledge of Mortal Kombat knows that's not how it fucking works. It would be like the X-Men movies having Magneto shoot lasers out of his eyes or having Kitty use telepathy to send someone's mind into the past. Oh wait, that one happened. Anyway, the bottom line is there are things you don't do and that things you can't fuck up. Ryu is not going to do a sonic boom motion with his arms to do a Hadoken. Another ellipsis. Anywho, Foshi tells Waku
to get that out though, because I don't disagree with any of it.
Anywho, Foshi tells Waku to light all the torches in the courtyard with the Kamehameha. Cha-Cha was watching him train the whole time, tells him not to cheat, and she decides she's going to tempt him to do better. She's going to tempt him with human contact. Like, ooh, you get to come closer to me with every torch you like. Ha ha ha.
Why did we do this sequence? Why did we need this sequence?
I don't know,
Aside from the kissing or about to,
but it
or didn't need it. Did we need it to be this damn long?
it I don't know. It works. You can insert your power of boners joke here, like if you watch Cinema Sins, where he's like, the power of boners does this. This is the power of boners in full effect. He's like, I don't know if I could ever do this move. I'll let you touch me.
He did instantly become a master.
And sure enough, like once he does, he lights all the torches. Then she tells him to cut the lights off or whatever. And, so he then puts out all the torches and they bone in the courtyard. You can't convince me otherwise. She literally hugs him, kisses him, like, turn off the lights. Meanwhile, Red Woman has transformed into Chi-Chi and snuck in to steal all their Dragon Balls. There was a
Because we all know that Mai was going around snatching people's blood so that way she could then shapeshift into them.
Or that she ever worked with Piccolo at all. So yeah, once they realize, she's a doppelganger or whatever, we get a mirror match of Cha-Cha and, the Red Woman pretending to be Cha-Cha. Cho-Cho, why not? It doesn't matter.
Coming up that's hilarious that I hope you kept in there.
So, Waku helps the wrong one.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Goku, it's me. And he just, without even like
he
trying.
Didn't hesitate. Usually there's a hesitate like, are you sure? No. She's like, help me. He's like, you got it. Bitch. I'm like...
It's like he didn't take a second to contemplate or think. He didn't say, "What if it's wrong?"
You asked for help, so I'm beating her ass.
and then he knocked her fucking block off.
And then he's like, "Oh wait, she's got a scar on her arm from earlier today." I'm like, dude. So Red Woman didn't even copy the scar. It would have been easier for him to, if he had a thought, he would have been like, "Let me see your arms," But no, he didn't question it. He's just like,
Goku, help.
Oops. Yeah, exactly. So the lady escapes. And then we see... she shoots him, by the way, because he helped the wrong one. She shoots him in the back and then escapes. And while he's passed out, he dreams of Gohan, who tells him to go back and then repeats his Uncle Ben speech of have faith in who you are or some shit. Meanwhile, Foshi revives Waku with the Kamehameha Air, and they head to the Dragon Temple. So, meanwhile, the black dude, pretty much tells Foshi he's going to die when he gives it to him. He's like, here you go. I will see you on the other side, friend. Damn. There's death flags, and then there's, yeah, you dead. I'll meet you in the next life. All right, man. We could win. That could happen, but okay.
Right. Like that's not a possibility at all that we might make it out. No. It's not happening at all. Oh, fuck me then.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Piccolo raises a temple from the ground with the Dragon Balls that he has. Dumcha has a flying car apparently, so he's flying around in it. They all try to catch up. Foshi and Piccolo start shooting air at each other, and the feedback crashes the car. Meanwhile, Waku is in the rubble of the car. He's like, before I climb out of this rubble, let me put on this gi. Okay, you couldn't have put that on at the temple?
That was the movie. That was the movie's only attempt at any semblance of fan service.
Pretty much. So, yeah, so Waku puts on the gi, and God, he gives this another line that he delivered poorly enough for me to put a note about it. He's like, I will defeat Ozaru, and I will destroy you. And it wasn't much better acted than what I just said there. If not, it was probably worse acted when he said it, like, I will defeat Ozaru, and I will defeat you, or I will destroy you. And I'm like, oh, why? Come on, man. And that's when he gets told the shocking twist that he is Ozaru. And then the eclipse happens. Waku starts transforming into a giant ape, or to an ape-like creature that obeys Piccolo's commands. And starts chasing after Dumcha and Bino.
How did you feel about this great ape? and I say great. Look.
I saw the
Oh,
quotes.
great ape.
At least it kind of looked like a monkey.
You better
It was
dig
terrible.
harder.
It was terrible.
There was nothing great about that shit.
Oh, it wasn't large. It was. They didn't call it great. They called it the Demon Ozaru. And as far as I was concerned, it was terrible. But so is this whole movie.
It was more.
I wasn't even expecting it to remotely look like a monkey, and it looked.
He didn't even grow that big.
Well, they didn't say Ozaru was a giant. That's what I was saying. Like it within the universe, because you were telling me to go into this with an open mind. I'm telling you, I hated the transformation.
True.
But I'm trying to look for at least something to this. You know what I mean? Like, okay, try to look on the bright side. At least it looked like a monkey, but that's like giving something a 1 out of 10 instead of a 0 out of 10. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
It's a difference between saying, like, are we going to look at it in a straight up bubble, or are we going to look at it relating to DBZ? In a straight up bubble, oh, okay, yeah. Related to DBZ, fuck everything.
Oh, yeah, no, the fuck everything about the movie. What are we talking about?
Anyway, go ahead.
You know what? Who really had to cut off me starting this to say you better have looked at this with an open mind. So you asked me, and I'm telling you, I hated it, but
at least,
that's all. So, because he could have looked like anything. He could have looked like a fucking. He could have looked like a man, but he didn't. He looked like. Anyhow,
he honestly could have just looked like a taller man.
He could have just looked like Piccolo, like just looked like another one of him. He was told to fear the Namex anyway. Why wouldn't
Piccolo in this movie look like? Do you remember the Haunted Mask episode from Goosebumps? Oh my god, no!
I love it.
Oh shit!
I love it.
He's like a grown man.
He totally looks like the Haunted Mask from Goosebumps.
Oh shit.
So yeah. Anyway, the Ozaru starts, obeying Piccolo's commands. Meanwhile, Foshi's using the Mafuba. Dumpshus decides he's gonna stay behind to fight Ozaru. Gets bodied. Meanwhile, the Mafuba fails. Because of course it did. Seven people it took who were probably remotely in their youth way back when to seal them the first time. How is one
elderly man gonna do it
by himself? It wasn't gonna work, okay?
Oh shit.
I mean, it could work if we were actually looking at the series, considering we just got done with Tournament of Power. Roshi could fucking put a person into Mafuba if he wants, but he couldn't. He just couldn't spam it, even though he tried. But nonetheless, the Mafuba fails. Who would have guessed? So, meanwhile, Foshi reminds Ozaru of Uncle Gohan's words before Ozaru strangles him to death. And he snaps back to Wackarot, whose hair is now spiky-er because of his transformation. So I'm like, is this their way of trying to have him have realistic, quote-unquote, spiky hair instead of the classic Goku spiky hairstyle, which to be fair, would look stupid.
Oh yeah, no. If they would have,
have you seen Anime House? Have you seen Anime House? The Goku wig they have. I like it because at least they try it. But let's be honest.
Part of the charm. Look, part of the charm.
Part of the charm. Yes.
Part of the charm of RDC World 1's Anime House.
I would rather.
So,
I'm not shitting on RDC World. I love it.
No, not at all. We love RDC World 1.
I would rather them put the wig on. I'm just saying I understand why they didn't.
I'm just saying that. But part of the charm with them, just like part of the charm with Angry Video Game Nerd and all that, was that they were doing what they could with what they had.
Yeah.
So that's part. But yeah, but again, no shitting RDC World 1. RDC World 1 is a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah. So. Anywho, yeah, so he snaps back to himself. Final fight begins. Lots of airbending. Bino enters a gunfight with the red lady. Eventually, Waku and Piccolo punch the shit out of each other. Bino throws a motorcycle at the lady, and then Yamcha just shoots her, so the lady loses. Uh, Wakarat gives a speech about learning to embrace his inner Ozaru, fully understanding Uncle Ben's words. And then the final attack, and then they had the final attack, which I will say, after my huge paragraph earlier, it was a better representation of the Kamehameha than what they initially were trying to say. He at least said Kamehameha and shot a blue line of air, but it at least could, if you squinted, could look like a blue beam to attack Piccolo's fucking air beam for not even a beam struggle, just a here we go and
This motherfucker shot the shit and then instantly flew at him through it and then just stopped shooting the fucking beam.
Yeah, it was terrible. But it was a better representation of the Kamehameha than before, but it still wasn't good. That's what I have in my notes. It was a better representation of Kamehameha than before, but it still wasn't good. So that's when, after Piccolo loses, Wakarat summons the dragons to res Foshi, and Shenron looks weird as fuck. I don't like the way he looked in this movie. I'm like, you even CGI'd him. You could have made him look more like Shenron. You have no excuse when you resort to the CGI. You could have made him look more like it.
My computer was acting weird, so I didn't see the what Shenron looked like.
Bad. So yeah. Anyway, Foshi had the same dream as Wakarat apparently, where Gohan told him to go back. It's not his time yet, and shit. Apparently verbatim. And also, they're like, all right, let's go look for the Dragon Balls again. But first, Wakarat's got to do something. He's got to go make out with Chi-Chi, who completely forgave him, kinda.
She took him down. I was like, God damn, y'all.
Yeah.
Like, Goku. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, God damn.
Girl, he just beat the shit out of you last time he saw you. And then she's like, nah, I let you do that. No, I beat the shit out of you.
That wasn't even a movie like, I missed you kiss. That was some, I was like, good Lord. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. That was hilarious.
Yeah. So, movie ends with them spoiling. And that's when I put my note of, where the fuck was Krillin?
Told you.
Yeah, I knew.
Told you.
I was like, where the fuck was Krillin? And then we get a mid-credit scene with some random lady making soup for, I can only guess, Piccolo. And then sure enough, you go in the room. Yes, it's Piccolo. And they were actually expecting to make a sequel. Because that's what that is. That's them trying to sequel bait, like, oh, he's not actually dead.
Dude, Avatar: The Last Airbender movie that M. Night Shyamalan did that is just as god-awful in its own way. I remember that they were talking about possible sequel, and they even had a possible picture of a poster floating around the internet at the time.
Oh, he was going to do all 3 parts. He was going to do all 3 books.
So, yeah. Terrible adaptation like anime or American anime. The terrible adaptations will definitely people trying to get sequels set up no matter how shitty.
So, well, I mean, the intellectual property itself is a cash cow forever trying to be milked.
Dragon Ball, the whole Dragon Ball universe.
Someone who has suckled from the teat of said cash cow on numerous times, I get it. But you gotta do it right. Anyway, you saw the movie before, and this is your second time, so I'm gonna have you give your thing before I give mine.
Oh, I was gonna say you give.
No, go right ahead.
Okay, well, I was gonna say this real quick before either one of us goes into it. So clearly, as we see, this is the Dragon Ball movie done with people who are pretty much Dragon Ball Z age.
Yeah. Also, if we want to go with what they tried to do, they pretty much, and why Krillin wasn't there, but Roshi shouldn't have been either. They pretty much combined the first arc of Dragon Ball with the Demon King Piccolo arc, where the first arc is Bulma and Goku find each other. They're trying to gather the Dragon Balls. Eventually, interact with the Pilaf gang. It has this big climax where, Goku turns into the giant fucking ape. Meanwhile, the dragon gets summoned and Oolong wishes for some fucking panties. There's no Krillin there that early in the series. He's not part of the party. At least I don't believe he is. I believe it's just Goku, Bulma, Poir, Yam. By the time they get to that point, Poir, Yamcha, and Oolong. So, okay, you took out Poir, you took out Oolong, and you put in Roshi from later. You took out the Pilaf gang except for Mai, and you put Demon King Piccolo because you figured he'd be a better movie villain type thing. And it didn't work, obviously, but that's what they tried to do. I guess they were gonna try to do either the end of Dragon Ball or try and do Z afterwards with their second movies and stuff, which they probably would have then added Krillin and stuff, but that's what they tried to do. It just didn't work.
Okay, so giving my opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watch these movies. I have watched these movies, and that was extremely redundant. But I try not to, but sometimes the thought creeps in my head that I had my rating early on.
So I have noticed that.
Yeah. So I watched the movie and it creeped in my head and I was like, I don't have my rating yet. It did change. I will say the rating did change. But the initial rating when I rewatched this, and I had already seen it, and I told you, like I said at the beginning of the review, I watched it with my friends and we were in high school. We all knew that we were going to hate it. We weren't surprised. We went and got food in the food court right after and talked about how shitty and wrong everything was. But now that I'm older, I've acted enough, I've, done this, done that, whatever. Okay. And I can at least go in to pretty much every movie, no matter how shitty it's supposed to be, and at least try to watch it with an open mind. Now that I'm older, so because when I was younger,
same by the way.
Because when I was younger, we said we're gonna hate it, and we did. Now that I'm older, I'm like, let me see, older Jazz, 12, 13 years later, we'll see what's up. So I'm watching the movie. And my initial reaction was to rate this bitch a 0.5 out of 10. And then I was like, okay, it changed. But that was the initial reaction because that fucking clothesline wire fight was like, what is this motherfucking bullshit? And I hate what I call drawstring physics, which this movie had a lot of, where it's like somebody's being pulled on a drawstring because how they fall and fly and do this and that and shit.
I definitely skipped over some of my notes because I forgot to mention there was a fuck ton of slow motion for no reason.
See, exactly. So this movie, and then also, admittedly, I've watched a good amount of Dragon Ball Z, clearly all the Dragon Ball Super now, but was not a fan of Dragon Ball, so I don't know the Dragon Ball lore as much as I do the other parts of Dragon Ball. I didn't watch any GT. I gave Dragon Ball a chance. I didn't watch any GT. So what they did with this movie was they tried to modernize it for the time, but they took Dragon Ball and they tried to make it a teen comedy. They attempted to make Dragon Ball a teen comedy. The kid trying to find his way on his 18th birthday. His grandfather passes away. He's coming into his own. The girl that likes him, all the plucky, wild bandit friends he meets along the way. We got to band together, guys. Oh, wait, the power was within me all along. That's some teen movie shit.
Yeah.
That is what they fucking did with this motherfucking shit.
So you're saying this is another teen movie?
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed Dragon to Ball, it not being another teen movie.
I got the reference.
No, it's for the people at home.
Anyway.
That's an old movie, even older than this one.
Yeah, honestly. I think that came out in like 2000. But anyway. But no. So they turned Dragon Ball into a teen movie. What the fuck? So, and I was a teen with my other teen friends when I saw this, and we thought it was dumb to the bitch. So what the fuck are you doing? But I can take solace in. I still say the party fight was pretty Goku-esque. Some of the other things he did was pretty Goku-esque as well. The Great Ape was fucking awful.
Yes.
That was no, 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 no. And ooh, I'm harping on it. No, okay. If I said that the outfit, him putting on the outfit was stupid and not a good representation, and I harped on that because it was stupid and what, but harped on that. Okay, Great Ape is a huge pivotal moment of the Dragon Ball universe, and that's what y'all gave me. Y'all gave me a wannabe werewolf, fucking teen wolf, fucking.
It was very underwhelming.
It was young adult wolf is what it was. It wasn't teen wolf. That's what that shit was. But no, so I can take solace in the Goku party fight. I can take solace in half of the Kamehameha wave. Not really, but maybe. I can take solace in Chow Yun Fat was very much like Roshi. And the dude who played Yamcha, no hating, his acting was not on par, but he was trying. Those are the two things I thought. He was even trying to do the Yamcha voice because he was even trying to talk a little like him. So he was even trying to do, like, I can give him that. The capsule core tech, okay, cool. We can do that as well. What the fuck were they? Emmy Rossum, good actor. I think she was doing what she had to do with what she had. They just fucking directed her to act everything unlike Bulma. Bulma was not no fast talking motherfucker like that. Like, no, pointing guns. No, okay. Piccolo with the fucking haunted mask looking shit. The random woman who apparently is this movie. I always said, and I said it earlier in the review, all us Dragon Ball Z fans, Dragon Ball fans knew a live action Dragon Ball movie would suck, but we would see it anyway. I watched it, it sucked. 1 out of 10. Because if you die never having seen this, even as a Dragon Ball fanatic, you will have lived a good life and not missed out on shit. It's not average. It's below average. It's not just below average. You do not need to see this movie. But there were the few things that I said I could take solace in that keep it from getting a 0. There you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, it's honesty time. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I never really watched this movie when I was young. I heard it was bad. I avoided this movie like the fucking plague. And then got told that we had to watch it. I was like, okay. So I went in this, tried to go into it with a clear mind. Like I said, same to Superjazz's approach to all this. I went in here expecting to hate every single second of this film so much that I just cussed out Jazz for even suggesting that we had to do this. Okay, I expected to be on the verge of vomitation with every word uttered that they had throughout the movie. And you know what? I was right. Fuck you, Jazz. No, but in all seriousness, is this the worst movie I've ever seen in my life? No. Is it the worst Dragon Ball movie? Oh, hell yes, by leaps and bounds. Are you fucking kidding me? Even BioShip Monster versus the C-Team got the move names right. Or got the moves in general right. You know, that said, they did more to try and have a connection with the source material than I thought they would.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you were saying with Chow Yun Fat trying to be Roshi-esque. Yamcha trying to be more Yamcha-esque. They even had a scene to go with what you were saying. I didn't see the fight so much as Goku, but I saw an even smaller scene where he actually seemed like he knew what character he was trying to be. It was when Bino was trying to look up Roshi in the directory, and she's like, I can't find Roshi anywhere. And he's just there eating a giant turkey leg, not really caring, and like,
very Goku.
Did you try looking under Master? I'm like, All right,
Because
that
he's
was
eating and not giving a fuck. That's Goku.
and being very dumb about the situation. Like, what the fuck? Why would you put Master in the goddamn thing? So that I was like, okay, I see. They even had the capsule tech. Roshi was at least wearing Hawaiian shirts or some shit. But aside from some costume choices or some Easter eggs, they fucked up everything else. The acting, not good. About a majority of the cast. The effects, not good. Are there the worst effects in film? No, but they sure as hell weren't good. I hated that they made the key stuff all airbending shit. Also, the plot. Waku versus bullies? Totally unnecessary storyline. You didn't need it at all. And actually, anything pre-Gohan dying was pointless. You didn't need all that shit. You didn't need Goku going to a party and shit. If you really wanted him to be out of the house with Piccolo and stuff, you could have just had him like go to school, come home. Oh no, Granddad's dead. Like go to school. Oh, there's this girl Chi-Chi at school. Oh no, Gohan's dead. I'm going on a Dragon Ball quest. Oh, here's Chi-Chi again later at the fucking temple. It literally would have been the same fucking effect. Those bullies offered nothing. So that made me mad. And then just so much shit once with the plot that they did have just jumped all over the place. Why are they in a fucking volcano? Why are they over here? None of it made fucking sense, and I didn't enjoy myself. Now, what did I rate BioShit Monster? Like a 3.5? You know what? I think I give this movie a 2. In fact, I was actually disappointed. I'm more disappointed that the movie wasn't as bad as I had heard. And I'll say it like that because, as I've stated before, people at home, I've stated it numerous times on my channel, on Whatever We Want channel, on any channel you've probably seen me, I've probably stated this phrase. I'm an angry person. Okay? Now, while I don't enjoy being angry per se, I enjoy the occasional rant. Hell, people have told me they enjoy my occasional rants. So I went in here ready to make a fucking video essay on how much I hated this movie, or how much I wanted to track down the fucking writers for writing this affront to human existence, and punch them in the face and pay me $1 million and tell them to pay me $1 million for having to sit through it, or maybe even track down said writers' parents and berate them for fucking creating said writers to make this stain on human history that is this fucking film. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to just fucking be pissed off through all out days and just go on a fucking tirade. But that would be disingenuous for me to go on such a tirade, and I feel like people would sense that. So I can't even fucking do it. The movie even denied me my fucking outrage at how bad the film was. It's like, you seen Gargoyles, right, Jazz? You remember Gargoyles? The old Disney cartoon. Really but you know what Gargoyles is, right? They had a main character named Goliath, and he's voiced by the great Keith David. And he delivers one of my favorite lines that man has ever delivered, where he's like, I've been denied everything, even my revenge. Only with me, it's even my outrage. That's what they did to me. They denied me even my fucking outrage. They denied me entertaining movie. They had denied me my outrage. So you know what? Fuck that. You know what? Fuck this movie. And it's fucking suckery. I'm docking it an extra point. It's getting a 1. Fuck it. Just for pissing me off. I could say more, but I've gone on enough tangents. Fuck this movie. I don't like it. You don't like it. Neither of us likes it. It can go to hell.
So the movie loses a point because it didn't make you originally.
If you're gonna be shitty, go all the way.
Oh man, I will say this. If this is anything that I can say slightly good about the movie, or bad movies in general, I always say the only thing worse than bad is boring, because boring, you just don't give a fuck. The one thing is, this movie does keep your attention. It is so bad that you do actually give a shit to see what the fuck they're gonna do next. So I'll give it that much. The only thing worse than bad is boring. The movie's not boring.
I was gonna give it a 2 because of the stuff where I'm like, they tried more than I thought they would, even though this is a terrible DBZ movie. But they tried more than I thought they would. Like they clearly somebody read a synopsis of Dragon Ball and was like, "Let me make a plot out of this," as opposed to being like Mario Brothers, where they're like, "What is this Bowser thing? Is that a dinosaur? I guess they're all dinosaurs. I guess the Goombas are dinosaur people and doing all of this shit. And there's monkeys. What? No, this was a actually." I've not seen the Mario Brothers movie in a while. I was going to say, this is probably a closer representation of the source material than that was. And that's saying
that
something.
Might be true.
That's saying something about Mario
Trust
Brothers.
the ooze? What the fuck is that?
So, there's that. That's why I was like, I'll give it a 2. Maybe a 3. No, I'll give it a 2. And then I realized how much it pissed me off. I'm like, I wanted to go on a fucking rant the size of the fucking sun. It's like I wanted to hate this as much as I hate Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. But that couldn't happen.
Get that more.
No, you can watch literally anything. I will tell people that on whatever the fuck I want. I wear my hatred for that man and his team on my fucking sleeve.
Let's not turn this into whatever this is about to become, because then the video is gonna be that much longer. But anyway, I thought about rating the movie A2, but then I was like, no, the movie not for the reason you gave, but the movie's it's not 2 worthy. It's not 0 worthy because it's not completely god awful, but it's
2 worthy. It's pretty shitty.
There you go. But no, this movie. The only reason that we rated this was because my friend, and I still love you, bro. You know you my guy, but also fuck you for having such a great idea to have us review this. Fuck you for having such a good idea that I couldn't turn it down. But yeah, you said I don't know you, Greg.
I don't know you. I ain't gotta say you still.
But no,
I'm kidding. I don't know you. Why would I hate you?
But no, this fucking movie, it's just as bad as it was when I was younger, and now I understand acting, film, and life more, and it's still just as bad.
Yep.
I can appreciate the other things they did maybe better than I could back then, but it's still just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
In a bubble, not knowing DB, it's just a bad movie in general off of that. You may care about it less if you don't know about the Dragon Ball universe. So, yeah.
So that's that. Links in the description of where else you can find us, including the Whatever We Want podcast, where we don't necessarily just talk about Dragon Ball all the time. You want to hear us talk about other stuff, you can check that out, because we talk about whatever we want. We may every once in a while talk about some Dragon Ball on there, but it's not the focus. It's whatever we want to talk about, whether it's things we like, which is more often than the things we hate. But like I said, I might go on the occasional rant from time to time. I'm not a happy person. Don't let the face fool you. I'm not a happy person. Okay. Either way,
I would say watch the movie, see for yourself. But you know what?
Don't.
They used to torture people in when they get locked up abroad. Waterboarding is better than watching this movie on repeat.
Damn.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the true case.
Clearly, I'm joking. Clearly, I'm
like that. That's pretty bad. But
clearly, I'm joking.
I can see why. I can see. Fuck that. Why would I edit it out? Yeah. It's a bad movie. You guys have a good one. We'll have other stuff on the channel and stuff like that. But fuck this movie. Adios.
Agreed.